I hope you're all having a lovely week. I'm here to stop by to show you some books that I picked up from my local library this week. I've not been in my local library for several years, I'd say over 5 years. I happen to have a very beautiful library. It's quite old-fashioned, but it's a lovely building. I will try and include some pictures at the end of the video. I went when the weather was really nice. I don't know if you live in the UK, the weather at the moment is outside is grey and miserable, so it's not very feeling summery at the moment. In fact, I decided to buy myself a t-shirt with Summerween on it, which is quite fun and I think very appropriate for the weather that we're having. So I'm going to put my glasses on and I'm going to go through the books that I picked up. So the first one is called The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. It's quite a thick, chunky book. I've not actually started this one. So first of all, it says, in 1893, there is no such thing as witches. There used to be, in the wild dark days before the burnings began. But now, witching is nothing but tidy charms and nursery rhymes. If the modern woman wants any measure of power, she must find it at the ballot box. But when the Eastwood sisters, James Juniper, Agus Amaranth and Beatrice Belladonna, join the suffragettes of New Salem, they begin to pursue the forgotten words and ways that might turn the women's movement into the witches' movement. Stalked by shadows and sickness, hunted by forces who will not suffer a witch to vote, and perhaps not even to live, the sisters will need to delve into the oldest magics, draw new alliances, and heal the bond between them if they want to survive. There's no such thing as witches, but there will be. Oh, that sounds really good. It sounds interesting as well because there's a lot of history involved in the book. So I'm quite looking forward to that because, you know, the historical aspect of witches and being burned and women fighting for the vote. It's, you know, it's part of all women's history. So that'll be a good book. The second book that I've got is Agatha Christie, The Murder at the Vicarage. And I believe this is the first in the Miss Marple mysteries. So I've never read an Agatha Christie book. I have started reading this. I'm quite enjoying it so far. I like her style of writing. It's like an easy read. So I'll probably do reviews on all of these books when I've read them. So it says, anyone who murdered Colonel Prothero, declared the parson, brandishing a carving knife above a joint of roast beef, would be doing the world at large a favour. It was a careless remark for a man of the cloth, and one which would come back to haunt the clergyman just a few hours later, when the colonel is found shot dead in the clergyman's study. But as Miss Marple soon discovers, the whole village seems to have had a motive to kill Colonel Prothero. So it says this is the first Miss Marple mystery, one which tests all her powers of observation and deduction. And you start off, it's a first person POV of the clergyman. So it's he's the narrator and he's telling you the story. A few chapters in and Miss Marple's not arrived yet, but I'm quite looking forward to when she does, so that's good. And the third book is In the Defence of Witches, Why Women Are Still on Trial, Mona Chollet. I think I'm saying these names right. And again, I'm really looking forward to reading this. I don't know whether anyone watched it. I've just watched is it Saran Jones on Channel 4, and she did a 2-part documentary on witches. And for me, that's really good because I am currently writing my own personal journey on witchcraft, which I'll talk about in a minute. So this says, what remains of the witch hunts, a stubborn misogyny which still tints the way our societies look at single people, childless women, ageing women, or quite simply free women. Today, more than ever, witches tell us about our world and lead the way. Mona Chollet reminds us how an infamous label has become a symbol of women's resistance to male domination. Mona Chollet demonstrates how women today, those who free themselves from certain social norms, are in fact the direct heirs of those who were pursued, hunted and censored. So it's quite a lot about feminism. I think the first and the second and this book sort of lean into feminism, which be quite interesting. With regards to my own book that I'm writing, it's not touching on feminism. It's more about my own journey into witchcraft, from being a young teenage girl, finding tarot cards in my bedroom. There's like a little attic part in the bedroom, so I found them in there and was intrigued with the symbol on the book was the death, and I thought, oh, this is all spooky. So I loved all the spooky films that we grew up with, and obviously Hocus Pocus and Practical Magic, all them things have gone to influencing me. But then there's a serious side that I've followed of doing magic and doing spells, and how I do them spells, because I have quite a few disabilities and I run out of energy, so quick and easy spells and manifestations work better for me rather than all the elaborate robes, although I do have quite a lot of cauldrons and spell bottles and charms and lots of things that go alongside practicing. So my own personal journey will look at how I got on that path, the history around, a brief history around witches, because I think I don't need to write that. So many people have done that and will do that better than myself. So mine's more how that history's influenced me. Really looking at what do I think the word witch means to me. Is it a label I've put upon myself? Is it a label society puts upon us? Is it something that I'm comfortable having the label witch put upon myself? And so I'm going to look into all them things, and also how I practice magic, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. So I think this book will probably help, and obviously reading anything witchy helps. So I'm going to share more about these books when I've read them, because I am reading another book at the moment. And also, again, I've said I'll share more about what I'm writing and what I'm doing. And obviously with the book that I've got published already, Ellie in the Underworld, there's a theme of magic and there's a theme of witchcraft that runs throughout that. And again, that's through my own influences of growing up on a path that I'd say was largely much influenced by society and the things that I was drawn to, like the Addams Family, the Munsters, all the shows that are considered darker comedy. And lots of things. But I love tarot cards. I've got so many decks and oracle cards, and previously in the past I have worked doing tarot readings for people. It's not something that I've done for a long time. I just sort of do them more for fun now. So again, I shall come back very soon and update you with maybe any progress on the books or books that I'm reading, progress on my writing, because currently writing 3 books. I'm writing Ellie and the Keeper of the Keys, which is the second book to Ellie in the Underworld. I'm writing the book about my journey, my own personal gnosis and witchcraft, and I'm also writing quite one that I've never tried, which is a contemporary romance, and I'm quite enjoying that because it's giving me a chance to write in a different genre than I normally would. So, okay, thank you and enjoy the rest of your week.